hate to lose them for through traffic. And I remember our attorney, we had many, many meetings with him, and the one thing he kept saying to me with respect to bridle paths, and specifically with respect to the planning board's desire to open up as an access road, they don't own the land. And that's one thing that has stuck with me. They don't own the land. The planning board does not own the town. They don't own this land. That's the one thing that stuck with me, which is why we're here. In every argument that anyone had to open up this road, the county, the planning board, the fire, and the police department has been refuted. And we know how hard you're working to improve our quality of life with the water and the sewer. I mean, I can't tell you. I don't know the other gentlemen very well, but certainly Phil and Doug and Lou. I'm in your offices all the time. I'm coming to talk to you, and I appreciate it. But our woes for the sewer will be nothing in comparison to how much our community will suffer if this land falls into the wrong hands. You are the right hands, but you're not going to be here forever. We'd love you to be here forever. I plan to be here forever. My children are very young. I would like to live here for a very long time. And we implore you to do the right thing and to keep this can of worms closed. And please don't accept any land having to do with bridle paths. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your input. Sure. Louis would like to make a comment.
I will make another comment also.
Go ahead.
I need a mic.
Oh, you need a mic?
And by the way, this is my file of bridle paths. I had to bring it, so clippings and...
But Melissa, you weren't here tonight. The developer came in front of us for some options that we have to make decisions on. There was 5 of them, and one of them had to do with land. All right, and part of the land. See, I don't call it bridle path. I just call it all land. And there's an offering on the table of taking the land. Now, we can take the land, all right, but it doesn't mean that bridle path has to open. And I'm going to turn it over to, if we were to take the land for other use or potential use, if there is, because there's a lot of wetland, I'm going to switch it over to Dennis to tell you how we can protect it.
Well,
okay.
Okay.
No, I talked to Dennis about it.
I understand, but I don't think we're in that position to. There are a lot of options, but I think we need to discuss it.
I know that, but I'm giving them a scenario.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing, just trying, because they're concerned about that scenario.
Just something we can take home, just feeling a little better about.
That scenario was to take place.
Okay.
Dennis can explain. Yeah.
Well, I can just tell you, you can take it home. I haven't budged 1 inch from my previous decision about bridle path. I mean, I've been steady for 40 years. I think it's a bad situation. And now that we've come to the land, I'm just wondering, maybe we can ask our town attorney, if we take all the land, if we could just eliminate that as a path, as a road of access, and just incorporate it with the rest and just be done with it. I mean, I don't know. It's legal. We need to look at it. Then they'll be guaranteed to move on.
I know. Okay. I'd like to take one thing, and I think Ken and George, we all need to say them before our attorney comes in with the options, because they need to have their say in this thing. Because I've talked to Dan already about the easement. There are things we can do. We probably do need this land. Period. Okay. But that doesn't mean it's going to be built on. There are things that can be done, and our attorney can tell you how that would work. But I think each board member needs to weigh in on their personal feelings. Phil just did. Okay. But I'd like the other board member, and I concur with Phil, but each board member needs to do it, and then our attorney can tell you how he's. But the fact is, we've got to get back, and we've got to act on all 5 of these requests that they've done. And each one of them has to do with opening something up, whether it be the one on Brookside, the one on Bridle Path, or this and that. But there are a lot of options, and I think that from your vantage point, you only see it as one. Either you take the land or you don't take the land. So I would like to ask George his comment, then Ken his, and then Lou his, and then we'll let our attorney.
Can I just ask a very quick question?
Sure.
Maybe it was, is there any ability to take a partial amount of the land? In other words, if there's, I don't know how much it is, if it's
20 acres to take whatever does not have to do with that portion?
Well,
Is
I
that
think-
an option?
Sure, we've been offered two things, private path, wherever that is, and the rest.
Okay.
And what Lou was saying, we probably want it all. But anyway, I'd like to, each one of us to say, for you, our position, okay? Because there are other board members here that need to say their, and then our attorney can tell us how we can do this to the benefit of everybody. I'd like the board members.
Just real quick, Doug, was bridle path offered separately than the rest of the land?
That's correct.
Well, then it is there.
No, but let's talk through this. I think you're jumping to conclusions that it's either all or nothing, et cetera, which is not the case.
Okay.
So, George?
Well, I had a rather long discussion with Dan on the phone about this whole issue, and I guess I have a long answer. I can give a long answer or a short answer, so I guess maybe what I'll do is I'll do something in between. I came to Goshen in 1974, and we were in an R1 district. I lived in the village. I get the lower water and sewer bill, you know. But anyway, it's much higher than it was. But anyway, I live out on South Street, and there's a development there, most of you know, it's called Paddock, and that's how I got introduced to politics. In 1974, I guess it was probably 75, 76 by that time, it was all R1, and then all of a sudden the decision was made that they were going to put in the density in that. So I didn't hire an attorney. I was 27, I think, or something like that, kid. And well, I did do some movement politics around there, trying to stir up the pot. And lo and behold, make a long story short, the paddock's there, so wasn't too successful there. But then I said to myself, if you're going to have that, you can't say you've got to get involved. And about a year later or 2 years later, I ran for the village board. So my premise is this, and I said that back then, and I'm saying it still today. Protecting neighborhoods is one of the most important things that we can do. As I told Dan on the phone, I live on Robeline Drive, and there was a move afoot to take Robeline Drive and extend it all the way down to the Old Chester Road. And I had young. Yeah, but the subdivision is approved with cul-de-sac, so that it doesn't go through there. But you can just imagine what would have happened to my neighborhood, right? If they would have made the right-hand turn coming off exit 125, because, there's so much traffic on South Street sometimes, and then shot through my neighborhood and hit the Old Chester Road and then out to wherever they've done. So it would have been a horror show for me. So I certainly understand exactly what each and every one of you were going through, and I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I know I went on the record, I think everybody here went on the record as saying we are not in favor, even though the county was in favor of opening up and so on and so forth. So I haven't wavered in any way, shape, or form. I understand exactly what you're doing, and I guess I turn to council, and that was the same thought that I had. You people out there are impressed upon the fact that the town can't take it over, because if the town takes it over, then when we're all gone on to bigger and better things or whatever, the bad guys that are going to be sitting up here are going to do it. But that's my thought, and I said I have to go back to Dennis on this, is it might very well be that if the town took it over, we might be able to give you guys more protection and not less protection, As I told Dan, I haven't spoken to Dennis about this all, but some type of restrictive covenant, if we own the property and had a restrictive covenant on it that it could never be opened or became parklands, and how parklands, once you make it a parkland, it's a parkland forever. So I think there might be, and again, I have not spoken to Dennis, but there might be other ways in which we take over the property and are able to better protect it. Because if it's in private hands, right, well, what's to say that HOA, the homeowners association that will be created out there, say X amount of dollars, open up the road, hey, we can go free. We don't have to have maintenance fees for the 2 years or 3 years. So just because it stays in private hands, in my mind, doesn't necessarily making it as protected as
GoshenNewYork.info. London, Paris, Tokyo, Hong